सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैस्ताङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। In the last class, we started the new session on the Bhagavad Gita with the discussion of the Dhyana Shloka or the verses on meditation. We looked at the first verse of the meditation, Dhyana Shloka. So that this verse describes the glory of the Bhagavad Gita. How great Bhagavad Gita is. Parthaya pratibodhitam. So this which has been taught to Partha, to son of Pratha, son of Kunti, to Arjuna. Arjuna is the disciple. Arjuna is not an ordinary person. He is a man of great accomplishment, very powerful person, and a person such as Arjuna was taught the Gita, number one. And who taught him? Narayana Swayam. Swayam, by himself, Narayana, by himself, by Lord Narayana himself, the Gita has been taught. So as we said, we look upon Lord Krishna as the incarnation of Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu. This is a very important point to keep in mind, that the Gita is taught by none other than by Ishvara himself. Ishvara, the one who revealed the Vedas, is also the one who has revealed the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita also enjoys almost the status of the Vedas. Although Bhagavad Gita is not part of the Veda. In the Shruti and the Smriti, Vedas are called the Shruti, and all those texts that are composed by the sages are called Smriti, and Bhagavad Gita is generally classified as Smriti, and still, because of the subject matter and because of the teacher, it is almost given the status of the Shruti or the Upanishad. Other important thing Bhagavad Gita is Vyasena Grasitam Purana Munina. Purana Munina, by the ancient sage Vyasa, Grasitam Madhye Mahabharatam has been placed in the middle of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is perhaps the greatest book in the Sanskrit literature, consisting of the greatest poem, Kavya, consisting of 100,000 verses. It is looked upon as the fifth Veda. Mahabharata enjoys the status of Veda in the Vedic tradition. In a text such as that, the Bhagavad Gita was placed almost in the middle, was given a place of pride in such great text as Mahabharata. That also shows the importance of the greatness of the Bhagavad Gita. The third line says, Advaita Amritavarshinim, the one that showers the nectar of Advaita or non-duality. So the Bhagavad Gita's primary teaching is non-duality. What is non-duality? The unity in all the diversity. The oneness, the unity that exists as a basis of all the diversity that is apparent. Just as in the diversity of all the waves obtains the oneness of the water, which is the principle that is the self of all the waves, that connects all the waves, and so also Vedanta teaches that in this apparent diversity of names and forms, there is one thread that connects all the names and forms equally. That is the very essence of every name and form, that is the very self of every name and form, and that is called, whatever name you give, God or Brahman. And the important thing about the teaching of Vedanta is, as our Puja Swamiji used to say, that Hindus do not worship many gods, they do not worship even one God, they worship the only God. Meaning that, according to the teaching of the Vedas or Upanishads, what is God, what is divine, what is limitless, what is whole and complete. This is the reality which is to be discovered by us. As again Swami used to say, the God is not to be believed, God is to be understood, not believed. The belief is required for something that is remote, something that is not the object of our experience, but then understanding is called for what is experienced by you. What is immediately experienced by you is to be understood. So, what we experience is God. How can it be? That's what Vedanta teaches. That's what the Bhagavad Gita teaches. And it's called Amritam, the immortality. Because the knowledge of this non-duality eliminates what we call the death. Tameva viditva atimrityumeti nanyah pantha vidyate ayanaya. So the Upanishad says, Tameva viditva, by knowing that, by knowing the self, by knowing this truth, mrityum atyeti, one crosses the death. And so, one crosses the death. Atha martyo mruto bhavati. Else it is said, Atha, on account of this knowledge, martya amruto bhavati. The mortal becomes immortal. Now, mortal cannot become immortal. The one who thought oneself to be immortal discovers that he is immortal. So, mortality is not the truth of our life, immortality is the truth of the life. Mortal death is mithya or is unreal, immortality is real. This is what Bhagavad Gita teaches. So, Advaita Varshinim, showering the Amrutam, the nectar of non-duality, which eliminates the very idea of death and reveals that what there is immortality. Ashtadasha Dhyanim, it consists of 18 chapters, which can be broadly divided into 3 groups of 6 chapters each. And in these 18 chapters, Bhagavad Gita unfolds what we call the Mahavakya or the major statement of the Upanishads, which is Tattvamasi, that thou art. You are that, you are Brahman, you are the limitless. So this is a simple truth. This very simple statement is made by the Upanishads. You are limitless. You are non-dual. You are immortal. So what does it mean? This statement has to be understood. Therefore, to understand the statement, which consists of 3 words, that thou art, we should understand the meaning of the words first, then we can understand the meaning of the sentence. To understand the meaning of a sentence, we should first know the meaning of the words. So these 3 words comprise the sentence. That thou art, you are that, you are Brahman. So it is said how the first 6 chapters elaborately explain what the nature of I or the self is. The middle 6 chapters elaborately explain the nature of Ishvara, the creator, sustainer, resolver. And the last chapters explain the identity between the two, Jiva and Ishvara. Thus, 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. They provide for a seeker. It is called Shastram. It is a scripture. And scripture is that which has all elements that are required for the well-being of a spiritual seeker. So Bhagavad Gita begins by describing the state of mind of Arjuna. What was his state of mind? Arjuna represents an ordinary human being, and how Arjuna was suffering from grief, from sadness, as every human being does. And how the teaching removed that grief, removed the sadness. So describe the student, describe the teacher, describe the student approaching the teacher, surrendering himself to the teacher, and then teacher unfolding the truth, and student realizing the truth. So and then the description of the Jivan Mukta, the one who is liberated even while alive. All of this is elaborately described in the Bhagavad Gita. All the elements that a scripture should have, the Bhagavad Gita has. Therefore, it's a Shastram made up of 18 chapters. The last line says, Amba Tvam Anusandadhami. Amba, Bhagavad Gita is addressed as mother. So like a mother who, first of all, accepts the child. For mother, it doesn't matter how evil a child is really. The lap of mother is open for a child of any kind. And so Bhagavad Gita is a mother in whose lap all children have a place. Avichet suduracharaha bhajate mam ananyabhat. The 9th chapter says that even if there is the greatest of the sinners, if he develops his conviction that what I am doing is not right, that my life should have a different direction, that Ishvara should be my goal, once that conviction develops, well, that conviction leads him all the way to liberation. So thus, even what we call the greatest sinners, api chedasi papebhya sarvebhya papakruttama sarvam jnana plavenaiva rujinam santarishas. Again, 4th chapter says that even if you are a sinner, a greater sinner than the greatest sinner, then also you will cross this ocean of sin by the raft of knowledge. Ambatvam anusandadhami. O mother, I anusandadhami. I repeatedly meditate upon you. Bhagavad Gita bhavadveshinim. Bhagavad Gita. So Gita is now the adjective is Bhagavad Gita. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimati Bhagavati Gita, Srimata Bhagavata Gita or Srimati Bhagavati Gita. Srimata Bhagavata Gita. Gita the sung, Bhagavata by the Lord, Srimata by the Lord who is possessed of Sri or Brahma Vidya. So sung by the Lord who possesses Brahma Vidya, meaning that the Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman, is sung in the form of the Bhagavad Gita. Or Srimati Bhagavati Gita. Gita herself is capable. Srimati possesses all the glories. She is divine mother and therefore capable of removing all the ills of the children. Srimati Bhagavati Gita. Bhavadveshinim, which is Dveshinim, destroyer of Bhava or life of samsara. So we saw this verse. Now we proceed with the next verse. Verse number 2 of this meditation verses. Namostu te vyasa vishala buddhe Pullara vindayata patra netra Yena tvaya bharata taila purnaha Prajvalito jnanamaya pradipa. Nama astute Vyasa, the author of Mahabharata, who was Vyasa or Veda Vyasa. Bhagavad Gita occurs in the middle of Mahabharata in the Bhishma Parva. Forms the chapters from 25 to 42. This is, so you can say that Vyasa is a reporter of Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita is uttered by Lord Krishna. So Vyasa is not the author of Bhagavad Gita, he is the reporter of the Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, Vyasa is the author of Mahabharata. So Vyasa is praised here. Namostute. O sage Vyasa, Namostute. May the salutations be unto you. Vishala Buddhe. So sage Vyasa is described as Vishala Buddhi. One who has a vast intellect. One of vast intellect. Has to be of vast intellect because Veda Vyasa is said to have written the Mahabharata, which, as we said, comprises of 100,000 verses. This Mahabharata itself will be described in one of the verses later. But the Mahabharata is called the Panchama Veda, the fifth Veda. So 4 Vedas are famous. Rug, Yajuhu, Sama, Atharva, and Mahabharata is given the rank of 5th Veda. It is said that what you find anywhere will be found in Mahabharata. But then what you find in Mahabharata may not be found elsewhere. Meaning that it is thought that Mahabharata covers all the forms of knowledge. And therefore, all forms of spiritual knowledge. Even other knowledge also it has. All these different moral codes of conduct, etc. also is very dharma, artha, kama and moksha. The Chaturveda Purushartha. All of these are very well described in the Mahabharata. It is one of the most revered texts. And Veda Vyasa being the writer or the author of that text. As you know very well, a story goes with this. That Veda Vyasa was told by Brahmaji to write this. And the author Vyasa says that I need a scribe. Who can be the scribe to take the dictation? This is the first dictation must be, So Lord Brahmaji suggested Lord Ganesha as the scribe. So Ganesha also has the head of the elephant, The elephant-headed Lord. Elephant has the largest of the head of all the creatures. So elephant head stands for the vast intellect. And therefore Ganesha also is the Lord of the intellect, Lord of the wisdom. So Lord Ganesha is highly intelligent, very wise, and therefore the right scribe for the Mahabharata. So Veda Vyasa requested Lord Ganesha, who accepted the task. But then Lord Ganesha placed a condition before Vyasa that look, you should not stop. I'll keep on writing and writing. There should be no interruption. If you fulfill that condition, then I will accept the role of the scribe. Vedavasa said, okay. He was so confident because the poetry was simply flowing from him. But still, Vedavyasa also made a condition that not only you should write what I am uttering, but you should write with the understanding of what you are writing. And I said, no problem. So whenever Vedavyasa needed a certain time for composing the next verses, he would utter a verse which needed a lot of thinking. And so that required some time for Lord Ganesha. In the meantime, Vedavyasa composed other verses. That's the story. Where did Lord Ganesha get his pen? He had 2 tusks. He broke one of the tusks. So, there are several stories of why Ganesha has only 1 tusk, but this is one of the stories. So, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe. O Vyasa, having Vishala Buddhi, a vast intellect, our salutations. Purana Munina, his ancient sage, also the sage who is credited with composing all the Puranas. There are 18 Puranas, What is a Purana? It is a very elaborate text. Some Purana, thousands and thousands of verses, like Vayu Purana has 55,000 verses, Skanda Purana some 85,000 verses, If you add up all these, some 400,000 verses, they said he has written them also. That is for me hard to believe, but anyway, that's what they say. So Mahabharata, all the Puranas, and Brahma Sutra, Vishala Buddhi, what, how can there be an intellect? So anyway, Vedavyasa also, it was also called Vedavyasa. So Vivyasa Vedan Yasmat Tasmat Vyasa iti Smritaha. Because he arranged the Vedas. So Vyasa means arranger. One of the meanings is arranger, who arranged the Vedas, compiled the Vedas. So last time we said that in the Satya Yuga, Krita Yuga, there was only one Veda. Because those days people had the intellect that they could cover the entire Veda, they could study and memorize. By the time then came the Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, the intellect had become, much more deteriorated. Now people are no more capable of mastering the entire text. So it is said that this Vedavyasa rearranged, grouped the entire text in 4 Vedas. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. Therefore from then on, all that a person was required to study was the Veda of his branch, one Veda. You always could study more, but this was minimum that you required to study. So, because arranger is also, it's called Vyasa. Vyasa also is the one who elaborates. He can take a point and elaborate a number of verses. So, Vyasa is the one elaborator. Therefore also is called Vyasa. And as you know, Vyasa is a title actually. It was not the name but the title. So, any narrator of Purana also is called Vyasa. Any narrator of Purana is called Vyasa. And the seat on which he sits and narrates is called Vyasapita. Veda Vyasa because he arranged the Veda. So Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Phulla Arvinda Yata Patra Netra Prafulla Vinda Arvinda Arvinda Patra Phulla or Prafulla Arvinda Patra Netra. Phulla means that which has blossomed. Arvinda, a lotus. Patra means a lotus petal. Netra, the eyes. So sage Vedavyasa is said to have eyes which were like the vast eyes, like the blossomed lotus petal. So lotus petal is red in the corner, so eyes are also red in the corner. And the vast eyes are an indication of the flow of grace. So Lord's eyes, the grace of the Lord's eyes, the grace of the Lord always flows through the eyes. Or grace of anybody also flows through the eyes. Grace of the teacher also. So in Viveka Chudamani, the disciple prays that please lift me from the ocean of samsara by the rope of the grace flowing from the corner of your eyes. So vast eyes indicate also the beauty, also indicate the grace, the krupa, the grace or the compassion that is flowing from a compassionate stage, a very handsome looking stage. His real name was Krishna because he was dark in color, as all gods are. He is also said to be the part incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu is dark. All his incarnations also are dark. So then Krishna, also, so he was even called Krishna because he was dark in color. And the story tells us that this Krishna was born in a Dvipa. Dvipa means an island. So it's called Dvaipayana, the one who is born in an island. So his name was Krishna Dvaipayana. Vyasa is the title that he got on account of the work that he did. It is said that as soon as this child Vyasa, the Krishna was born, Krishna Dvaipayana, he just grew to become a mature person and right away walked away for performing severe penance. He performed severe penance in the kshetra called the Badri. So there are 4 shrines in the Himalayas. One of the shrines is called Badrinath. So that kshetra or that area is called the Badri kshetra. So we have a Shankara Math also there in Jyotirmath. So Badri means actually berry fruit. So there must be lots of trees of berry fruits there. Therefore, it's called Badri Kshetra. And this Krishna Dvaipayana is said to have performed severe penance, and therefore it's called Badarayana. So several names are there. Krishna Dvaipayana, Badarayana, and Vyasa, and Vedavyasa. So Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullarvinda Yatapatra Netra. The one whose eyes are as vast as the petal of a lotus which is fully blossomed. So the beautiful eyes shows the beauty of Vyasa because he was a very handsome person, being the incarnation of Lord, a part incarnation of Lord Narayana. He was what we call Adhikarika Purusha. He was a wise person. Why should a wise person be born? So sometimes the Lord Himself selects some wise persons and sends them as these missionaries. So a wise person who is born as a missionary to fulfill a certain mission is called Adhikarika Purusha. So then Vedavyasa was one of those who was born to fulfill a mission. Yena tvaya bharata taila purnaha prajvalito jnanamaya pradipaha. Yena tvaya, by the one such as you such as that, prajvalitaha is lighted. Pradipaha, the lamp. Jnanamaya pradipaha, the lamp of knowledge. So it is said that Vedavyasa, he lighted the lamp of knowledge. Now lamp must have the oil for it to burn. So what's the oil here? Bharata Taila Purnaha. Taila means oil. Bharata means Mahabharata. Purna filled with the oil of Mahabharata. So the whole text Mahabharata is like the oil, using which Vedavyasa lighted the lamp of knowledge, meaning that Mahabharata is the text of giving us knowledge of every kind. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, where all knowledge of all the Purusharthas is given there. So Vedavyasa lighted the lamp of knowledge in which Mahabharata is oil. What kind of oil? Inexhaustible oil. Therefore the lamp also will be lighted forever. So, this is a description of Vyasa, a praise of Vyasa. Because he is the author of Mahabharata, he is the reporter of the Bhagavad Gita. So Gita comes first, Vyasa comes next, then comes Lord Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. And several verses are devoted to Lord Krishna, of course. So the verse number 3 tells us, Prapanna parijataya totra vetraikapanaye jnanamudraya krishnaya Gītāmrutaduhe namaha. Second line says Namaha. My salutations Krishnaya to Lord Krishna. My salutations to Lord Krishna. So this verse is saluting Lord Krishna, and the verse very beautifully describes some unique characteristics of Lord Krishna. First it says Prapanna parijataya. What is Prapanna? Prapanna means what? Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanna. Prapanna means what? One who is surrender. In a prapatti means surrender. So our Swami Akhandaji used to explain prapatti. Pra and pad. So pad means the foot. Prapad means the forward part of the foot. The front part of the foot is called prapat. And so when a devotee catches hold of the front part of the Lord's foot, it's called prapatti. Meaning that prapannaha, one who has surrendered. Prapatti means surrender, and prapanna means one who has surrendered. Prapanna parijata. Parijata, you must have heard this name, Parijata. It's a very beautiful, our Swami was very fond of this flower, Parijata, very tender and has a very sweet fragrance. It is said that this flower was brought from heaven by Lord Krishna, because one of the concerts of Lord Krishna, a very favorite concert, whose name was Satyabhama. So she says, I want this flower. I mean, after all kinds of demands can be made. Even Lord also has to fulfill that demand. So Satyabhama said, I want that tree. I want that flower. So Lord goes all the way to heaven. That is where the flower, the tree was. And he fights with Indra, defeats him, and brings the tree from heaven to the earth. So that's the story. What is Parijata? Wish-fulfilling tree. Parijata. So, Parijata is said to be the Kalpa Vriksha. Another name is Kalpa Vriksha. Kalpa means Sankalpa, means a desire. The tree that fulfills all the desires is called Kalpa Vriksha. Or Parijata also means the wish-fulfilling tree. There are very beautiful concepts, in this tradition. Wish-fulfilling tree, wish-fulfilling cow, wish-fulfilling jewel, wish-fulfilling jewel? What is it called? Chintamani. It's called Chintamani. Whatever Chintanam, whatever thought or whatever desire you have, one fulfills that. Chintamani. Who is the wish fulfilling cow? Kamadhenu. Whatever wish you have, the cow fulfills. And wish fulfilling tree, Kalpa Vriksha or Parijata. Wish fulfilling tree. So who is Lord Krishna? Prapanna Parijata. Parijata, wish fulfilling tree for whom? Prapanna, for the one who has surrendered. Who is Prapanna? Who has surrendered to Lord Krishna? Arjuna. Of course, Arjuna represents all the devotees who surrendered to the Lord. So Lord Krishna is said to be the wish fulfilling tree of those who surrender to him. Although really speaking, he did not fulfill the wish of Arjuna. You know what was Arjuna's wish? Nayotse, I do not want to fight this battle. Lord Krishna did not fulfill that wish. How do you say the Lord is the fulfiller of the wishes of those who surrender to? How do you say that? By not fulfilling that wish, also he fulfilled the wish. So, the Lord may not, well, it is our experience also that many of our wishes are also not fulfilled by the Lord. How do you call him wish fulfilling tree? But then Lord knows what is the wish behind all the wishes. What's the desire behind all the desires? Knows. Even though Arjuna says, my desire is that I want to withdraw from this battlefield, and perhaps there's an idea that I'll become a renunciate, and then I'll go to forest and meditate. That appeared to be the desire as expressed by Arjuna. Just as we express variety of desires before the Lord, Arjuna expressed this desire before the Lord. Because the Lord did not fulfill. But did he fulfill the desire of Arjuna or not? Arjuna did not know what he desired. What is the desire behind all the desires? Arjuna did not know. Just as when we also present a variety of desires before the Lord, we do not know what we really desire. The Edava Swami used to say, the desire behind all the desires is to become free from desires. So of course, one way is to fulfill the desire. Other way is to make the person free from desire. So therefore, in a real sense, Lord will bless the disciple. Not so much by fulfilling his desire, because he knows that you fulfill one desire and in its place another desire is going to arise. Because the desire behind all the desires is what? To become free, to become complete, to become free from all limitations, to become whole and complete. So that's the desire behind all desires. Not knowing that, we keep on fulfilling variety of desires that arise in our mind. It is like the desire of the 10th boy who is searching for the 10th boy. It is already accomplished. We will see this. As Vedanta teaches, that what you desire is already accomplished. Tattvamasi, you already are what you are seeking to be. That you are seeking to be free from all limitations. You are seeking to be a whole and complete being that you already are. Meaning that you don't have to become complete, you have to discover the fact that you are complete. So you are Brahman. Vedanta doesn't say you will be Brahman, you are Brahman. That are is a verb of present tense. And that reveals an existing fact. So this reveals an existing fact about ourselves, that we are Brahman as we are. Even with all my weak eyes, yes. With my weak limbs, yes. With my, stupid intellect, yes. As I am. It is most unbelievable thing, but that's what it is. You are not what you take yourself to be. You are quite different. You are limitless. Therefore, the desire behind all the desires is to become free from desires or become free from all limitations. You can say become limitless, which is an already accomplished fact. And therefore, Vedanta says it is the accomplishment of what is already accomplished. And what is already accomplished cannot be attained by any effort, is attained only by knowledge. Just as the 10th man can be discovered only by the instruction that you are the 10th man. Therefore, what did Lord Krishna do? Not fulfill his desire, but then remove the very basis of desire. So if already I am limitless and still I have desire to become limitless, that means that I do not know who I am. Meaning that I am born ignorant of my own nature, and what has to be done is removing ignorance, dispelling ignorance by knowledge. That's what Lord Krishna did. He removed the very cause of desire. What is the cause of desire? Avidya. Avidya, kama, karma. The cause of all the action is kama, desire, and cause of the desire is ignorance. So by the teaching imparted in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna removed ignorance, and thereby the very cause of the desires. For Arjuna to discover that he already is what is seeking to be. And Arjuna acknowledges that. Nashto moha smriti labdha tat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam. This is one simple sentence. Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you want me to do. I will do what you want me to do. You know what it means? It means that I will fulfill your agenda. What it means? I have no agenda, understand? When Arjuna says, I will fulfill your agenda, when can we say that? When we have no agenda. So that's what Arjuna meant. Oh Lord, by your grace, I have gained the knowledge, and now I find myself free from all agenda. Meaning free from all desires, free from all their needs. In his own words, Arjuna declares that he is free. So what Lord Krishna wanted happened. So prapanna parijataya. Lord Krishna is a wish-fulfilling tree for those who surrender to him. But Swamiji, Lord does not give more knowledge to everybody. He gave to Arjuna. He doesn't give to everybody. So when you go to Tirupati in India and then you are putting some money in that hundi, and that time you have a wish in your mind that I want such and such thing, and Tirupati fulfills that wish. So Lord seems to be fulfilling all kinds of wishes, not only moksha. How come? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Lord Krishna says that I bless them in the manner in which they approach me. Meaning that I give them what they want. Arjuna had already expressed his desire. What was it? Yashreyasyat nischitam bruhitam me. Please give me that will bring me the nischitam shreya. The firm and invariable end that I want. So in fact, Arjuna ultimately changed his desire and asked for moksha. Lord Krishna says, whatever my devotees ask, I give them. Is artharthi, give artha, wealth. Artha, if he approaches me with all difficulties, I remove his difficulty. Approaches me with knowledge, I give him knowledge. And so, therefore we find that everybody doesn't get moksha. Because people have no value for moksha. It's only when we develop the value for moksha. And you know what kind of value? When there is nothing more important than moksha. We all have value for moksha. But we want moksha and helicopter both. So we want moksha along with all the worldly things also we want. And so Lord Krishna, Lord is you wait. Until the only desire remaining in your mind is the desire for moksha, until then he is sleeping. He lets you work out. When the only desire, moksha me bhuyad, may I have moksha, that only desire in my mind, then he will fulfill that desire. Prapanna parijataya, totra vetraikapanaye. The further description of Lord Krishna is totra vetra ekapanaye. So most of you must have seen that traditional picture of the Gita press where Lord Krishna and Arjuna sit, not the ISKCON picture, the Gita press picture. The ISKCON, Lord Krishna is, showing him and he's, Arjuna is standing with his, and he's shooting arrows. So that's the picture of fighting Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita is not fighting Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita is what? Learning Arjuna. And so, therefore, in that traditional picture which depicts Bhagavad Gita, we see Lord Krishna and Arjuna, both of them, riding a chariot. Mahatis chandane sthito Madhava Pandavaha. So, both of them are seated in a great chariot, drawn by white horses. So, Lord Krishna is, as we said last time, is the Sarathi, the driver, the charioteer. Arjuna is the master of the chariot. Things have changed. In fact, Lord Krishna is the Lord, Arjuna is a junior friend. But here, Arjuna is a master and Lord Krishna is a servant, charioteer. And now, when Arjuna asked, as we will see in the first chapter, when Arjuna requested Lord Krishna to bring his chariot between the two armies, that's exactly what the Lord did. Brought the chariot between the two armies in such a place from where Arjuna could see all the principal warriors on both the sides. He saw Bhishma and Drona and others in the side of the Kauravas. And then, as we will see, all of a sudden, grief struck Arjuna. Arjuna was overcome by grief. He became incapable of doing anything, including holding his own bow. He sat down in the middle of the chariot and declared to the Lord, I will not fight. Meaning that you please tell me why I should fight. Then I will fight. So it took 18 chapters for Lord Krishna to teach him why he should fight. When he then said, okay, now I'll fight. So this teaching is beautifully expressed. So we see, because this is how the chariot is. The charioteer looks far in the front, and the master is sitting at the very higher seat. Charioteer is the lower seat, naturally, because the warrior has to see, and the charioteer should not obstruct his view, so he is sitting at a lower level. Arjuna usually stands. When they are fighting, they stand, they don't sit. If you sit, then you will, cut off. So, but anyway, so right now Arjuna is sitting. He is not that, because he sat down in the middle of the chariot. He came to fight the battle, so he was standing with his bow and arrow. But then, with the grief overtaking his mind, tam tada krupaya vishtam, he sat down. So Arjuna also is sitting, although in a higher seat than Lord Krishna. So normally the teacher looks at the disciple who is sitting at a lower level. And the teacher is sitting at a higher level. That's a convention. Not today's, the auditoriums, they go the other way around. So the teacher is the lowest level and everybody rises up. So we have to look up. Not the teacher looks down upon the disciple. No, not looks down. Looks at the disciple who is sitting at a lower level. Because it is said that knowledge flows from a higher level to a lower level. Just as water flows from higher level to lower level, so also the knowledge flows from. So symbolically, teacher sits at a higher level, disciple sits at a lower level. Psychologically also it works that way. If you are seated at a higher level, I think psychologically you will feel somewhat. And so that idea of surrender will not come if you are sitting at a higher level. So it comes when you are sitting at a lower level. But here it is reversed. The teacher is sitting at a lower level, the disciple is sitting at a higher level. Because everything is reversed here. I said last time, that the knowledge which is taught in Aranya, the forest, is brought in Rana, or in the battlefield. So Lord Krishna has reversed everything. And now, Arjuna is looking in front, Lord Krishna, now, you cannot teach a disciple if you are looking, so I cannot give a lecture to a disciple who is sitting behind me, isn't it? Very awkward. Because when you are communicating, you must look at the eyes, you must look at the person. And you should really look at the eyes of the person. Then only communication can take place, where there is eye contact. So if he is sitting behind me, there can't be any contact at all. I don't know what's happening to him, what expressions are there on his face, whether he's understood me or not. So he doesn't say, hey Arjuna, come sit in front of me. He doesn't say that. He himself looks back. So Lord Krishna himself looks back. Now understand, he is a charioteer and the horses are there in the front. So if he just looks back, the horses will run away. So he has a rein in his hand, with which he keeps the horses under control, as we see, and then looks back at Arjuna. So totra vetraiga panaye. He has a rein as well as a whip in his hand. One hand. Jnana mudraya Krishnaya. Other hand, Lord Krishna has Jnana mudra, which all of you know, which Lord Dakshinamurti has. It's called Chin mudra, sometimes Tarka mudra, or Jnana mudra. This mudra is the gesture, basically, of the fingers. There are hundreds of different gestures. Each one of them has its own characteristics. It's amazing. These mudras are very powerful things. In fact, there are people who treat variety of disease simply with mudras. Because a given mudra initiates the blood flow in a certain way and the flow of energy in a certain way in the hand and in the body. So this prana mudra, apana mudra, vijana mudra, all kinds of, so many mudras are there, depending on what it is that you want to influence. But anyway, this is jnana mudra. So, here as you see, the index finger and the thumb, both of them form one circle. There are 5 fingers, and usually this index finger is with other 3 fingers. What does the index finger refer here to? The ego. The ego is the index finger, is the accusing finger. You accuse somebody always in this way. An ego always accuses others. Therefore, this index finger represents the ego. The other 3 fingers represent samsara. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Creation, sustenance, whatever you want. These three together represent the whole universe. Whole samsara it represents, including all the objects of pleasure. So usually this ego, the jiva, who is represented by this index finger, usually is in company of the three fingers. Meaning that he is usually engaged in seeking and enjoying the pleasures of senses, etc. Someday he may become disillusioned by that, if he does. A viveka, discrimination may come in him. A question may occur in his mind. Parikshalokan, karmachitan, brahmano, nirvedamayan, nastya kritah kritena. Because of the punya or the merits earned by this fellow over a number of lifetimes, there is accumulated a large number of punya or the merits. Then this viveka or discrimination happens in his life. This train of thought occurs to him. As to what am I doing in my life? What do I want in my life? What is the goal of life? And the way I am going about in my life, is that the right way to achieve the goal? All these questions occur in him. And maybe he realizes also that what I am seeking is limitless. What I am seeking is limitless, means that it is not limited by time, place, uncreated. In uncreated, the limitless cannot be achieved, it has to be known. And that is how all his desires turn from the desire to gain something to the desire of knowledge. Now, if you want to gain knowledge, you have to go to the teacher. And the teachers are not in our midst. Teachers are always far away in remote places. In the olden days, Vedic times. So disciples had to trek a long distance and go in the middle of the forest or in the caves or the bank of the rivers, wherever the teacher used to be, and sit at his feet and learn. Those days you could not go to the teacher unless you renounce your house and everything else connected with it, because you don't go there for half a day or 1 day or for a retreat of 3 days. You go there, that's it. You go there forever. If you go for the Brahma Vidya. Go there, never to come back. Again, our Swami used to say, burning all the boats. And so, he gives up the association with these three, samsara, and approaches the teacher. He gains the instruction and discovers discovers his true nature, that I am not a limited being, limitlessness is my nature, Brahman is my nature. And thus he discovers the oneness or the unity or identity between Jiva and Brahman. So that is what is represented by Chinmudra or Jnana Mudra. And this is the teaching that Lord Krishna is imparting to Arjuna. You are Brahman. It is just said that Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. The first 6 chapters unfold the nature of you or the self. Second 6 chapters unfold the nature of Brahman or Ishvara. The remaining chapters unfold the nature of the identity between the two. Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. This Krishna, my salutations. We'll give a break for 15 minutes for coffee. Come back and we'll continue our discussions. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Amruta Duhe Namaha. So we saw how Lord Krishna is turned back, looking at Arjuna, his right hand in the gesture of Dhyanam Mudra, the gesture of knowledge. With his left hand, he has the whip and the reins in his hand, by which the horses are under control. And this is a beautiful picture where the disciple is surrendered to the teacher, and then only proper communication can take place. The disciple has devotion and shraddha, the faith and reverence in the teacher. And the teacher has the compassion and the kindness and also the patience to guide the student until the student attains his goal. So that beautiful combination we see here in Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Another important thing is this chariot, of which we find the analogy in Kathopanishad, which, as you know, says, Atmanam Rathanam Viddhi, Shariram Rathamevatu, Buddhim Sartham Viddhi, Manah Pragrahavan. So, the body is compared to a chariot. Our organs of perception are in the place of the horses. The mind is in the place of the rein. The intellect is in the place of the charioteer. And the jiva, or the ego, is the one who is riding the chariot. We call it the master of the chariot, who is riding the chariot. So this is how Kathopanishad describes this chariot. In Bhagavad Gita also we find the teaching taking place in the chariot, where also we can see how Lord Krishna has the reins in his hand and has this horses under control. The horses stand for the sense organs of perception, stands for the body-mind sense complex, which is under control. Because the Kathopanishad describes Vijnana sarthiryastu manah pragrahavan narah sodvanah paramapnoti tad vishnoh paramam padam. Vijnana sarthiryastu, one whose sarthi or charioteer is Vijnanam, is knowledge, wisdom, discrimination. Meaning that one who drives the chariot with discrimination. What is discrimination required here? Is to make the right choices. So what kind of choices a charioteer is required to make? Choose the right path. So the charioteer must know what the destination is and also the path leading to the destination. This is what the charioteer should know, so that whenever he arrives at an intersection or a fork, then he is to make the right choice, choose that road which would lead him to his destination. So charioteer must necessarily have the knowledge of destination, the goal, and the path. He should know that. And Viveka, he makes the right choices. What are the choices available in life? Again, Kathopanishad says, two paths are available to a human being. What are Preyaha and Shreyaha? The path of Preyaha, the path of the pleasant. Shreyaha, the path of the good. What is pleasant? So that which gives immediate gratification, but that which results ultimately into bondage and unhappiness. Other is a path that in the beginning appears to be giving me pain, but ultimately results into knowledge and freedom. So the path of short-term gain, long-term pain, as against short-term pain, gain, long-term pain, short-term pain, long-term gain. These two paths are there. Usually a person prefers the path of pleasant, wants to avoid the pain, goes for immediate gratification. That's what a human mind normally does. But that person is not leading life of discrimination or wisdom. He is making wrong choices. And there were yasva vijnanavan bhavati ayuktena manasa sada. So his mind can never be together. His mind is pulled away by various temptations, and therefore he can never be a focused person. And these temptations and the worldly pleasures makes him more and more dependent and bound, and therefore he revolves around the samsara, the repeated cycle of births and deaths. Vijnana, on the other hand, one who has a vijnanam, who has a discrimination, vijnana sathiriyastu manah pragrahavan narah. One who has the reins also in his hand, meaning the sense organs are under control, the mind is under control, the personality is under the control. Vijnana saratihi, the charioteer has vijnanam, the discrimination, making right choices, the choice of shreyaha, the choice of the long-term good. The pleasure coming from the non-self, the happiness coming from the self. So dhanah paramapnoti. He attains the other end of the path, tad Vishnoho paramam padam, which is the supreme pada or the abode, or that is Lord Vishnu, meaning the limitlessness. So this is also what is indicated here by this chariot. Vijnana Sarathi. So who is the Sarathi of this chariot? None other than Lord Krishna. His name is Vasudeva. In Tattvabodha we find that Vasudeva is the presiding deity of Buddhi or the intellect. So Lord Krishna is the presiding deity of intellect. So that wisdom is in the place of the charioteer. So therefore, Arjuna is assured of reaching his goal. There can be some bumps here and there, but assured of reaching the goal for sure. So therefore, the Chinmudra that we already saw, Advaita Amritavarshinim, this is a gesture which teaches of the Advaita or non-duality, the identity between this Jiva and Ishvara. And finally, some of you may know that Arjuna and Lord Krishna are very close bosom friends. Mahabharata says, Sattvam ekam dvidha sthitam. One truth has manifested itself in two forms. One truth alone manifests as Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Also the Puranas tell us that there was an avatar of incarnation of Lord Vishnu, which is called Nara Narayana. So Nara Narayana was one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. This Nara Narayana are today also performing penance in the Badrinath. So when you go to Badrinath to have the darshan, then the guides will show you two mountains. One mountain is called Nara, other mountain is called Narayana, as though they're still performing that penance. So that is the kshetra, or that is the area of Lord Vishnu. On the 4 shrines, 2 shrines are dedicated to Lord Vishnu and 2 shrines to Lord Shiva in the Himalayas. Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. So Yamunotri again associated with Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Even Vyasa ji also was born in an island in the river Yamuna. So Yamuna is also dark in color. That's the color of Lord Vishnu. So Yamuna is associated with Vishnu. Ganga is fair. Lord Shiva is also fair. And so Ganga is associated with Lord Shiva emerging from the matted locks of Shiva. So Yamunotri, the sthanam for Lord Vishnu. Gangotri, the sthanam for Lord Shiva. Kedarnath, the form of Lord Shiva. Badrinath, Lord of Vishnu, the form of Lord Vishnu. These Nara Narayana are even now performing the penance there in Badrinath. Same Nara Narayana have incarnated as Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Sattvam dvidha sthitam. One truth alone has appeared as 2. So, Krishna Dhananjaya Syatma. Krishna Syatma Dhananjaya. Again Mahabharata says, Krishna Dhananjaya Syatma. Krishna is the Atma, the self of Dhananjaya, Arjuna. And Dhananjaya is the Atma of Krishna. So, it's most amazing that so close they are. In fact, it is one alone in the form of 2. There are 2, but in fact, in reality, there are 1. So again, the students of Upanishad will recall the 2 being 1. You recall that in Upanishad? Where the 2 are in fact 1, or 1 is shown as 2. The birds. Dva Suparna, Sayuja Sakhaya. Mundakopanishad says that there are the 2 same looking birds, same beautiful birds, always connected to each other, never separated from each other. One bird is a Jivatma, other bird is Ishvara. Although Jiva thinks that is Jiva, in fact his nature also is Ishvara. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagnaha anishaya shochati muhyamanaha. Upanishad describe that even though this Jivatma is on the same tree where Ishvara is, in fact Ishvara is the very self of this Jivatma still. This Jiva, on account of identification, the body, mind, sense complex, therefore looks upon himself as a very limited being, and samane vrikshe purusho nimagna anishaya shochati muhyamanaha. He looks upon himself, anisha, as helpless. The Jiva, on account of identification with the body, mind, sense complex, looks upon himself as an insignificant entity, and therefore feels helpless. Shochati, therefore constantly grieving. So that's what you find Arjuna. Arjuna also is grieving. Even though in the same chariot, samane vrikshe purusho nimagna. So what is called vriksha, the tree in Mundaka Upanishad, is a chariot here in the Bhagavad Gita. So in the same tree, Ishvara is there and Jiva is there. Ishvara is never away from Jiva because Sayuja Sakhaya. Both of them are close friends and both of them are always connected to each other. In fact, because both are 1, appearing as 2. And so, even though the true nature of Arjuna is none other than Lord Krishna. He takes himself to be Jivatma, takes himself to be a limited being Arjuna, and suffers from grief. So that picture of Mundaka Upanishad also we find here in the Bhagavad Gita. So when does he see? When he sees himself as that this is asya mahimana vidivita shokaha justam yada pasitanyamisham asya mahimana vidivita shokaha. When he sees this Ishvara, his glory as his own self, then becomes free from all the grief. So same teaching is important in the Bhagavad Gita. So that is about the Arjuna and Lord Krishna. So Prapanna Parijataya, the one who is the Parijata, the wish-fulfilling tree for all those who are surrendered to him, and particularly the Jignasu. Artho Jignasu Artharthi. Even the Lord will fulfill the desires of an Artha or one in great difficulty. A Artharthi, one desires of the worldly gains. Jignasu, one desires of knowledge. Arjuna falls in the category of Jignasu Bhakta, one who is seeking knowledge. That's what Lord imparts to him. Now what did Lord do here? Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrita Duhe Namaha. He is the Duhe Namaha. So one who milks the cow of the nectar, that is the Gita. With the next verse it described. And so Namaha, salutations to Lord Krishna, who has milked the nectar in the form of Gita. So that is describing Lord Krishna. The next verse also describes Lord Krishna with a very beautiful imagery. Says here, verse number 4. Sarvopanishado gavaha dogdha gopala nandana partho vatsas sudhir bhokta dugdham gita amritam mahat. You can say this again praises Bhagavad Gita by describing Bhagavad Gita as the essence of all the Upanishads. So another beautiful imagery is given here. Sarvopanishado gavaha. Gava means the cows. Sarvopanishad, all the Upanishads. Imagine that all the Upanishads are a cow, a gava, cows. Every Upanishad is like a cow. Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Dogdha, the milkman. Gopala Nandana, Lord Krishna. Gopala means the cowherd boy. So Gam Pala, the one who protects the cow, is Gopala. So that is the cowherd boy. Gopala Nandana, one who is the joy of all cowherd boys, who himself is a cowherd boy. Who is Lord Krishna? An important thing is that a cowherd knows how to milk the cow. You and I cannot do that. You try to milk the cow and then she'll throw you out. Cow is not an easy animal to deal with, I tell you, you know. You have to, the cow has to recognize that you love him. So you must have served the cow, you must have gained the cow's confidence, and you must have gained the cow's affection. Then only the cow will cooperate with you, otherwise will not cooperate. And then also the cow will cooperate in tasks that she likes, otherwise even then also, even those cowherd fellows who come, she doesn't even, you know. So we call these cows sometimes with the cowherd man to perform the puja, worship of cow on some occasions. But cow doesn't like it. You take this tilak and put it on your, you know. You try to offer a garland. She resists. She doesn't want to do that. She doesn't know what's happening. Stupid. Doesn't know that she is worshipped here. She doesn't know. No value for worship, you know. No value for garlands. No value. Only thing that she values when you offer some food. Then she is okay. Then she cooperates and eats from your palm. That's okay. So you must be not only skilled, you must earn the love of the cow, then only the cow will allow you to milk. And when can you do it? Only when you serve the cow. You tended the cow. You nurtured it, nourished it. Then cow knows, and cow then allows you to milk. So Gopalanandana, Lord Krishna is a cowherd boy. From the birth, he has grown up with the cows, and therefore he is an expert milkman, or milk boy, milkman. Here, of course, Lord Krishna is adult, so he is a milkman. He is no more the cowherd boy. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is adult Lord Krishna. So all the Upanishads are like the cows, and Lord Krishna, the cowherd boy, is the one who milks these cows. Now you can milk the cow provided cow cooperates with you. So these are the Upanishads which should milk. Upanishads, we can approach Upanishads and read them. Nothing will make sense to us. Upanishads will not reveal themselves to anybody. It reveals only to somebody. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudhotmana prakashate trushyate tvagriya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. The self is dwelling here in the heart. Self is Brahman, but still it does not reveal itself to anybody. To this rare person, the self reveals himself. What is it? So, dhritvagriya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. One who is sukshma buddhi, a subtle, one who enjoys the purity of the mind. Agriya, meaning one who enjoys the concentration or single pointedness of the mind. And that too, the Upanishad has to be favorable to you. You have to earn the grace of the Upanishad. Upanishad to be pleased with you. You know when that happens, Upanishad itself says, Yame vaisya vrunate tena labhyah tasyaisha atma vrunate tanum swam. Yame vaisya vrunate tena labhyah. Atma can be known by whom? Yame vaisya vrunate, the one who chooses the Atma. Meaning one for whom Atma, the self-knowledge is the only and the most important thing. Who has no agenda other than that. So when the Upanishad sees that he is a seeker whose only agenda is to know the self, he has given up all other pursuits and is totally dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge of the self. Yame vaisya vrunate. One who chooses him, tena labhyah. By that person, the Atma can be known. How is it known? Tasyaisha Atma vrunate tanum swam. Before that person or seeker, the self reveals itself. It reveals its true nature. Normally, self does not reveal its true nature. Only to a bhakta, to a seeker and a devotee, totally dedicated, the self reveals its nature. So don't think that Upanishad will reveal itself to anybody. It's not an academic study. Of course, many academicians study them, no doubt about that. But then the Shastra Krupa. The Krupa or grace of the scripture has to take place. Meaning that the Shastra or the scripture has to reveal itself to us. The word of the scripture should reveal their meaning in my mind. Then alone the knowledge will take place. Is it not so? Meaning you require that kind of a skill, if you want to call it skill, that you acquired, that you can milk the Upanishad in terms of knowledge when you have the right frame of mind. When you are a bhakta, the devotee of the Lord or the self, you have the right frame of the mind, your mind that enjoys purity and concentration, you are totally devoted to the knowledge, and then only it reveals itself to you. So Upanishads are not easy, these cows are not easy to deal with. We may think that we understand them, So as I said earlier, our Bada Swamiji, some devotee comes in and says, Swamiji, I have gone through all the Upanishads. Swamiji, I have gone through all the Upanishads. Have Upanishads gone through you? So we can go through all Upanishads, but they should go through us. So that is the kind of skill or maturity we require for milking the Upanishad of the knowledge. When Upanishad becomes favorable to us, when Upanishad blesses us, when it reveals itself to us. So Dogda Gopala Nandana. As far as the cows of the Upanishads are concerned, who is the Dogda, who is the milkman? Gopala Nandana, Lord Krishna. He used to serve the cows, play with them, please them, and also he has served the Upanishads, and therefore Upanishads are pleased with him. Therefore he is able to milk the Upanishads of the essential knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita represents the essence of the Upanishads. And that is not easy. Sometimes they give another imagery. Just as you know the story as to how the gods and demons, the Devas and Asuras were churning the milky ocean. And finally, after all the efforts, the ambrosia comes out. The ambrosia represents what? The essence of the milky ocean. And so you churn this milky ocean of the Upanishads. Upanishads are like the ocean. And somebody is churned to bring out the very essence, the very ambrosia from the ocean, milky ocean of the Upanishads. Gita Amritam. So ambrosia in the form of Gita has been brought out by Lord Krishna, who must have churned them. Who by churning the milky ocean of the Upanishads, who brought out the Amritam and the ambrosia in the form of the Gita. So Dogda Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta. Vatsa means a calf. So the cow always needs the calf in front of it for it to give milk. These days you don't need it because there are machines, I guess, to milk the cows. Otherwise, traditionally, cows only give out milk when their calf is in, because inspired by or motivated by or enthused by the very love for the calf. So love that a cow has for the calf is called Vatsalya. Vatsa means a calf. And Vatsalya means the love that a cow has for the calf. In fact, Vatsam Lati, iti Vatsala. Cow is called Vatsala. Vatsam Lati, the one, because the cow cleans up the little calf, So when the calf is born, all kinds of, dirt is there on the calf's body, and the cow licks it all away with all the love. It is called Vatsala. And Vatsalayaha Bhavaha Vatsalyam, the state of Vatsala is called Vatsalya, meaning the love that mother has for the child. So in fact the cow only gives out the milk out of love. It is said in fact that, that the cows are taken during the day, they are taken for grazing to the forest. The calves are all here at home. When the cows are brought back from the forest, a cow will locate the calf from the whole crowd of all the calves. The cow will locate its own calf, run towards the calf. And the milk is flowing from the udder, just looking at the calf. So that's how that is how the milk flows from the udder of the cow, which requires what? Vatsalya, requires love. So Bhagavad Gita is not only the milk, but not only the knowledge. It is a knowledge which is the result of Vatsalya, love. Love that Lord Krishna has for Arjuna. So Lord Krishna is not only friend, not only guru, not only father, but also mother. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Is mata also and pita also in everything. So just as the milk flows out of love from the udders of the cow, and so also the milk of Bhagavad Gita was flowing from the udders of the Upanishad or from Lord Krishna. But fortunately the calf doesn't need all the milk. Takes part of the milk and rest of the milk is left for others to enjoy. Who are they? They are others like you and I for enjoying the milk of the Bhagavad Gita. Partho vatsaha sudhir bhokta. I quietly included you and I in this sudhi. Sushtu dhihi yesham jasya sa sudhihi. Dhi means buddhi or intellect. So one who is sushtu, one who is pure intellect. Sudhi, a person of pure intellect, is another one who enjoys that milk of the Bhagavad Gita. Agriya buddhya sukshmaya. One who enjoys the subtleness of the mind as well as the focus of the concentration of the mind. So therefore all the seekers all the time. So no doubt Arjuna became the cause or instrument for imparting the teaching. Shankaracharya ji in introduction, Bhashya of the Bhagavad Gita explains that Lord Krishna chose Arjuna for imparting his knowledge because if this knowledge is given to somebody who is himself a strong and powerful person, not only physically powerful but then intellectually, emotionally also, then the knowledge will be spread. So you must choose such person as your disciple who will then continue the tradition of teaching or imparting this knowledge to others. That's how Arjuna was chosen by Lord Krishna. He must have waited for a long time for these situations to occur. So, Partho vatsaha sudhir bhokta. Arjuna, of course, is the nimitta. But then it is given out to all the seekers of the world of all the time. And therefore, we say that the Bhagavad Gita is a universal, is a teaching, universal teaching. Meaning that the teaching is applicable to every human being at all times and at all places. For the simple reason, see, it does not teach you going to heaven, going to paradise, not what it teaches. Advaitamrita Varshinim. It showers the nectar of Advaita non-duality, that you are Brahman. So Bhagavad Gita reveals an existing fact about a human being, that you are Brahman. That applies to everybody. Not only Indians are free, every human being is Brahman. Every living being, everything is Brahman. Why only human being? But human being alone is capable of gaining this knowledge. So you can say human being. Other creatures don't have the faculty to know, but human being has. So Bhagavad Gita reveals an existing fact about human being, in that process also reveals the fact about the world and also about the God. So these three entities, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, the individual, the universe and the creator. These three entities make up our life. And Bhagavad Gita reveals the reality of these three. Now that is for everybody. If this Bhagavad Gita taught me to go to a paradise or a certain description, then perhaps only some people are qualified. Or a heaven, some people are qualified. Here everybody is qualified. And what is the reason why Bhagavad Gita reveals the realities? It is to solve the fundamental human problem. Not fundamental Arjuna problem, but fundamental human problem. That's the problem of grief, problem of sadness, problem of sorrow, which every human being suffers from. Therefore, Sudhi doesn't say that only Vaidika, Hindu, XYZ or Indian. No, Sudhi, whoever is the person with pure intellect, whoever is a seeker, a sincere seeker, he is the fit, he is qualified for the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Partho vatsa Sudhir. Even the other people also say our knowledge is universal. Everybody says, of course, not only Gita. When you have a specific goal, then there are specific people who can make it. You are the goal, and therefore everybody can make it. Dugdham Gita Amrutam. What's it? The milk. So cow gives milk, which is the most nourishing thing. It's complete food. So Gita is a complete teaching, leaves nothing desired. Gita Amrutam Mahat. It is the Mahat, great, invaluable, timeless nectar. That is the Bhagavad Gita. This Amrutam or the nectar or the ambrosia is different from the nectar that you get in the heaven. That also we spoke last time. That nectar is something that may give you relative immortality as long as you are in the heaven, as long as the punya lasts. This is immortality in absolute sense. So this is the, again, praise of Bhagavad Gita, you can say, that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads. But I would say it's the essence of Veda, because Shankaracharya says that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of entire Veda. Upanishads primarily have Brahma Vidya. But Bhagavad Gita is Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya. So Yoga Shastra in terms of the karma, Yoga Shastra in terms of bhakti or upasana. So Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda of the Vedas also are represented in the Bhagavad Gita. Meaning that Bhagavad Gita gives the essence of Karma Kanda also in the form of Karma Yoga. The essence of the Aranyaka, the Upasana Kanda also in the form of the Bhakti or the devotion. Improved versions, understand? I mean, I'm not supposed to say that, but improved versions of everything. In fact, Bhagavad Gita says much more than what Vedas say, which is not the right thing to say to this audience or to anybody, but because karma is described in the Vedas, all right. But that karma yoga, you can find some sentences, no doubt, in the Vedas also, no doubt. Meaning the very seed of the Karma Yoga is there in Karma Kanda, no doubt. So Karma Kanda also contains Karma Yoga, but then you have to find it. That's what Lord Krishna, in fact, talked to the essence of the Karma Kanda. And describes here the what we call Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is the essence of Karma Kanda. Because Karma Kanda gives a lot of emphasis to what we call the Sakamaka, desire prompted actions. Bhagavad Gita talks about the Nishkama Karma. So Vedas do talk about the duties, and the Bhagavad Gita also talks about it, but then karma performed as an offering to Ishvara. Let us put it this way, that Bhagavad Gita beautifully explains what the Karma Kanda intends to convey. And the Upasana Kanda, again, bhakti, the love element is brought here. It is hard to find it in the Vedas, then Upasana is all right, meditation is all right, but again you can say that the seed of the bhakti is there in the Vedas, the Upasana Kanda, and Lord Krishna has explored that and elaborated that in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is the essence of entire Veda. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and the Jnana Kanda. So Dugdham Gita Amrutam Mahat is a great, it is invaluable, timeless. Amrutam, Dugdham, milk, which is the nectar in the form of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, here we'll conclude this morning because a program follows here now. That is a short puja of Adi Shankaracharya. This Wednesday, just the 11th of May, was Shankaracharya Jayanti, the birthday of Shankaracharya, which is the Shukla Shuddha Panchami. So it just went on Wednesday. So we are celebrating it today for a convenient celebration. Om Purnamada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru